Hi guys.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me well?
Awesome, yeah. Again.
Okay, we'll start it in 2 minutes. We'll wait for some more people to join.
Hello, everyone. We'll start in a few moments. Awesome, Shaoli.
We see more and more people joining, so we'll wait like 5 minutes and then we're going to start with an awesome workshop that's going to blow your mind.
I think before we start, I'll take the chance and present the community to all of you, and mostly to those who this is the first time joining one of our meetups. First of all, nice to meet you all. My name is Amit. I'm managing the community with some of my dear friends here. Um, in the head of the Shauli Rejwan, who is one of the founders of the community, including Roy Osherov, which also helped found the community a few years ago. Our team includes Alon Kaviti, Alon Ben Lavi, and Eden Lutenberg as well, who will take place will take part of this lecture as well. So I'll start with a short intro about us. First of all, hello everyone, and welcome to the first Web3 Devs Underground workshop and online event. We're excited to share with you. As you see, I am very excited. So we're excited to share with you that in our new series of events that will take place every Monday and Thursday, and will include some of the most amazing technical lectures and workshops in the Web3 space. Before diving into today's workshop, let me give you a little teaser about our next meetup. We will be hosting Alon Murik, the CEO of SSV Labs, and we will learn from him about making Ethereum one chain again. So please make sure to stay tuned on our Web3 Devs Underground website at israelweb3.com. And without further ado, let me pass the mic to our community sponsor, MasterKey VC's managing partner, Shaoli Rejwan. The mic is yours, Shaoli.
Thank you, Amit. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Hey, Leon. Hey, Johnny. Exciting to hear what you guys planned for us today. It's going to be an awesome day. So just quickly introduce MasterKey and what we're doing. So MasterKey, we're early stage VC, specialized in deep tech cryptography. We're working with entrepreneurs in the Web3 space from the very early days of their ideas, and also supporting people, innovators like you guys who joined the community or joining the community and supporting it. So I'm not going to take too much of your time. Just a little bit more, and what we're looking also to do with the community and things that how you guys can be involved. So first of all, if anyone wants here to become a speaker one day or next time, next event, we're now doing more online events and continuing also our physicals. Please don't hesitate to reach out. We're always looking for more innovators that can teach us and help people become better engineers and become better developers, basically help to the expansion of the Web3 ecosystem. Just few more things about MasterKey. Our team members are located around the world, so you might have met them. And if not, we're looking forward to meet you in the next conference. And cheers. I'm sending the mic to you, Johnny.
All right, great intro. So, hey guys, Pleasure to be here. Thank you for coming. Today we have an amazing workshop with Leon about AI agents, what they are, and how to create them. I am Johnny Time. If you don't know me, you can search Johnny Time on YouTube or on Twitter. Feel free to connect. I'm a Web3 security researcher and educator in the space. I have a lot of cool content about hacking smart contracts and securing them, and even some courses on the subject. And usually I'm the one teaching, but today I'm going to be the student, so it's going to be exciting. My experience with AI is through using them, but I don't have much experience about LLMs and how they work behind the scenes. So I'm super excited to learn today from Leon. So I'm going to be the moderator and also the student, and I'm going to kind of like learn together with you guys. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to ask them, or just if you want to chat, don't spam, just ask like relevant questions in the chat. We have a chat on the right side of the screen. I will be your proxy, so if it's good questions, I will forward them to Leon, and we're gonna learn together and get better with AI agents. I think that's it. Now Leon will present himself, and we will start with a short presentation about AI agents, and then a live hands-on workshop. If I missed anything, please let me know, Leon, and the mic is yours.
Hey, Johnny, thank you. Hey, yeah, very excited to be here, start the session. Let me try to screen share. Let's start with the presentation. So today, do you see the screen, guys? Is good?
Yeah, I can see it. Guys, please let us know in the chat if all good. If you can see us, you can see the screen. It's a new platform, by the way. We're trying it out. So we want to make sure everything is smooth and you have the best experience.
Yeah, I wonder if anyone tried to connect the wallet to the platform. I'm really wondering about this. Yeah, but it's not about the...
Just don't sign anything suspicious. We didn't try to connect our wallet, but if you want, you can try.
I guess we should try. We should trust the platform we use, but yeah, maybe not too much. I get you. So a bit about myself. So I'm CTO of Ensemble. We built a platform, a Web3 platform for AI agents. My experience before that, I was CTO of Fuse Network. It's an L1 chain. My experience was about like developer in the IDF, working in algo trading. Discovering about blockchain in 2017, jumping the train, working the developer at Colu, Smart Connect developer at Colu, then moving at Fuse, building a blockchain network and stack for payments there. About a year ago, more than a year, I left the company to go focus on Ensemble, which first was an automation platform for DeFi, for the decentralized finance, while with time I'm learned a lot about AI agents, and I just figure out that basically the future is with AI, and we want to make AI better with crypto. That's what we are building in Ensemble, and in this session. Basically, we're going to learn about how to build AI agents, what are AI agents, and a bit more about the technical, a bit more about like LLMs. Not diving too much into the hard stuff, but yeah, it should be more give you the guidelines how to use. I believe like everybody are using AI today. You have to do AI, but it's about gathering how to build AI agents and how agents are working and what are AI agents. John, if you have any questions, if you have any good question, like please feel to ask. Yeah, it's going to be cool to make it like a conversation style. So we will talk about LLMs, about AI workflows. It's like AI agents, workflow agents, interchangeable. And then about like knowledge-based AI, about like more advanced agentic patterns, and then about agent-to-agent communication and agent networks. and then we do a practical workshop and build our own agent. And before we start, again, thank you everyone for joining. It was not so easy to have this lecture even today with all the situation we have here in Israel. But yeah, thank you, of course, for joining and listening. Yeah, and yeah, we'll be stronger. Okay, so yeah, let's just start with the historical overview. So Eliza was the first chatbot. It was developed in the 60s. If you guys know the Eliza AI agents framework, which is popular like about a year ago, it basically took the naming from this. So it was basically a psychological bot. You can tell her how it was developed in the 60s. That was not really AI either, but they figured out that AI can be a good therapist. So I feel anxiety, and then basically how the agent worked. Basically, ask myself more about my feelings without really understanding them. And back in the 60s, they even figured out that helping, and that's what people really wanted to hear. And and by the way, we see now the same pattern. While LLMs not really understand us, not really understand our feelings, they like respond in the manner that we want from them. So counterfactual pattern is simple. The tech is really different. So after this, there was like we're believing that the breakthrough of AI will be in the 80s, 70s, 80s, but that not really happened. We tried to but machine learning was established during the 70s. People doing like a SVN, a super vector network, and neural network. Neural networks was actually invented pretty early. That were invented even also in the 70s, but they were very different. What we have today. Back in the day, they were about like really like neural networks. Of course, they try to resemble the biology and the human brain. So the first version was very like the human brain, but with time we figured out that that's not the right approach, and the neural networks we have today, they really affected with Transformers white paper that was released to Google about just 2012, I guess. Attention is all we need. It's basically one of the most important white papers about AI. One of like most citations about it. Before that, we started like with the backpropagation. Yeah, that's kind of like so AI generated me this like diagram about involvement of how AI is evolves. So you can see, as we can see, through 20, 30 years, there were not much happening in the AI. Like if you guys remember, Deep Blue beats Kasparov in the 2000 when we were young, but it's not really AI, just a state machine, right? But then we see
quick
so
question.
much.
Yeah.
Cool.
It seems like there was a huge acceleration in the recent years. Like, what was the main reason for the acceleration in development in AI in the field?
Yeah. So it was about all those like AlexNet. It's a image processing network that generates image, and GAN is also the same. It's about like image processing. So it was basically neural networks. Like I think we finally understood that neural networks can be very, very effective. And first usage was image processing. If you remember like 10, 15 years ago about those like, we're talking about visual, that cameras can create like understand images and can recognize images. those early technology, and before that it was impossible. So if you remember the robots back in the 70s, 80s, they were never really bad and understanding the surroundings. But with the neural networks, we finally figured out that it's possible. So it was giving really big boost to the technology, and there was a couple of directions in the machine learning that was involving back in the day, and eventually like neural network, it was what took off.
Cool. And Claude is not mentioned, Anthropic and Claude is not mentioned in the chart. Any specific reason? It's more focused on code, I assume, right? Claude and these models.
No, so I guess it's not mentioned because it was generated by OpenAI, so decided not to mention.
Claude is owned by OpenAI. I'm not sure about.
No. It's like I just mean the diagram was generated by OpenAI.
So they don't want to show their competitors.
Yeah, exactly. But
they do show Gemini. Google are also their competitors.
Oh no, they need to choose one competitor to put there.
Yeah, strategic.
But yeah. Claude is great. Cool, of course. Yeah, so we see a lot of acceleration here, and that takes me to the singularity of AGI that we are heading. Like Sam Altman already think that we are kind of like in a soft singularity state right now, currently. But back to us. So transformers, they really like attention. So all we need. They really like make the AI agents, make the LLMs really more easy to understand and to build. They basically build the architecture that currently we are using for LLMs, for large language models, was invented in this paper. It was run by Google researchers. While the GPT-2, it was basically the first modern large language model as we know it today. It was GPT-2, and it was done in that's I don't know where 2014 or no it was done in COVID actually. Like it was done like sometime before COVID. And this is basically the first modern LLM. It was doing autocomplete, but the model was pretty small. And what's interesting part of the main difference between GPT-2 and GPT-3 is just the size. So GPT-3 is much more bigger than GPT-2, and it makes all the difference. With GPT-2 you can do autocomplete, and that's all. If you remember back in the day, like AI, so first like LLMs were doing autocomplete. Then they started to autocomplete the code. You can run like start writing a line of code. It was autocompleting you, and but then with GPT-3, they were like you can chat with them, and the difference between those was just the model size, and then like with LLMs, AI agents, and AI agents, workflow started to be useful. We touch them, and then like as we saw the acceleration, we like it's pretty clear where we are heading. So,
in my opinion,
what?
Which is a little bit scary in my opinion, but this is another discussion.
For all of us, of course, I think like all of us should be our favorite. Yeah. So how LLMs how inference of LLMs is working? Inference is really the process which provides more new tokens. How basically the LLMs networks provide output. Before there's like a really long process of training the model, like pre-training and training the models. I'm not touching all the stages, but just want to explain how they generate the results. So text is divided into tokens. Tokens is just kind of like characters. To think of LLM has its own alphabet, and here kind of like example I can try to text hello world, and this basically creates tokens from the text and tokens are like it's kind of like alphabet. It's characters that the LLMs understand. It's a good way to learn AI. So we can see that every learn AI.
Every
Cool.
token is
Yeah,
up to 32 bits, I imagine.
Yeah. So how much say?
32 bits. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what is the max decimal number. So
So it really depends on the model. I think that if I'm not mistaken, GPT-4 that's about 17,000 tokens. And it needs to be. It's not optimized. So it's not optimized for the like in the computer science sense. Not optimized for the bit, but it should be optimized for the LLMs. What they figured out that should be a lot of tokens before, like, because more like if your language is more rich than the network itself, it can be kind of smaller. Because like if you have like a little of tokens like characters, you should autocomplete. You should do a lot of auto completions. But in the case, okay, and if I want hello, if I write hello, there's a big chance that the next word gonna be like hello world, for example. And if before I was talking about computer science, that's a good chance that the next thing gonna be next word gonna be world, which basically it's the next token. And it's much more easy to it's much more easy for a LM to produce the word that produce just the word double, because double it can be everything. So
by the way, guys, if you have any
so
questions, feel
yeah.
free to ask them in the chat, and I will ask Leon. So if something is not clear, if you are curious about something, just feel free to use the chat.
So from tokens, every token got an ID, and from ID I create the vector embedding, like a vector which represents the string, my prompt actually, and the vector is fed to the neural network, to the LLM, which basically a huge mathematical function, but basically and it inputs my prompt and I received an probabilistic output. Basically, it's not really returning one string in returns a vector of probability, because every sentence it can have many different options to the next word, and then from this by the probabilistic sampler selects one. It draws a rice and select the next character, the next token. But by this probability, we take this token and we add it to our original prompt. We add this prompt, and we receive a new vector, and we feed the vector again to the LLM. We receive one new vector of probabilities. Here, basically, I view ink. So we receive like single. We add single to the single word to the prompt. We run this new vector. We feed this again to the LLM. We receive a probabilistic vector. We roll a dice. Then then one new word is chooses, and one new word. I'm viewing single page, for example, page, and then we come to the process again, and that's how, and with this process, that's how basically ChatGPT returns you answers. That's how you chat with ChatGPT. You start with your prompt, your own prompt, and then it creates you an answer.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and yeah, and it's the math here. Basically, it's not so it's like it's not very complex. It's complex, but it's not so much complex. And just a neural network, and and we basically that's kind of like architecture of the sampler and the LLM. And the the funny thing about this is we don't really know how LLM is so good in giving our answers. We are already like we are really like surprised about this, and you might see those like papers and statements in the news. Like Anthropic CEO says he don't really know how LLMs are functioning. Because it's like probability, but it gives you like so good and so much like precise answers.
There is a question from Oren. What is the rule of thumb, if any, when tokenizing code, for example? I mean, the chunks should make sense. For instance, we don't want to break a function in the middle. Is there a guideline for how to tokenize? I assume that Oren means like it means when you use AI for code completion and for like Cursor or Copilot and so on. So how does tokens work in that sense?
Splitting before. Yeah. So basically, it's working in the same way. Basically, you split this into tokens. So, but you guys know that it's a funny thing that we use the same model for token and for code. Basically, the same ChatGPT can do a coding for you and can do and do writing. And that's what's very special about LLM models, that they can do everything. So if let's say I write code, I basically like print, it can be Python, hello world, or it can be C++, C++. It's all kind of the same for more. If you like include, right? That's how you do in C++, stdin. I don't know. So stdin. So it generates same kind of tokens. Before in the pre-training sessions, it learned what's the most efficient tokens, what's the most efficient way to represent basically any kind of text, and it uses this to, and then like the tokenization algorithm is pretty simple.
So it works exactly the same way, like a chat.
Yeah.
Chat when you use it with chat. Okay.
Awesome. Let's go on.
Rejwar send if it's connected with blockchain. Currently, Leon is explaining about the intro of AIs and LLMs, but later on we'll explore with AI agents that are also related to blockchain and DeFi. I assume, correct, Leon?
I can touch a bit more on how. So LLMs are not connected with blockchain. Like there's projects which try to connect them, of course. But what we can do, we can use LLMs to build an AI agent that can interact with blockchain, that can do DeFi, other things. But right now we are just touching the basics. So after this, after we got those LLMs, people really wanted to explore them, to use them in code. So that's basically like a ChatGPT open open APIs, and basically can use programmatically those LLMs. And if you take many problems together, many LLMs together, and adjust input from one output from one LLM to input of another LLMs, you create a workflows. But like I'm sure you know tools like N8N or Lindy AI, other tools where when you can create those workflows. There's very efficient way to use AI for yourselves. Um, it's pretty simple. It's much simpler to use AI workflows for than AI agents. Anthropic released a paper how to build efficient AI agents a couple of months ago, and what they mentioned was first you should try to build this with workflow, and then if it's not working, if you know what you want to do, because workflows are more predictable and consistent because you create the structure and LLM just like works in the structure while AI agents have more autonomy. Uh, that's how the building blocks looks of both like AI agents and in workflows. Also, you got an input prompt coming to LLM. Then the LLM can use tools which will kind of like accessing the web. It can use read to write to memory, or it can go out to retrieval of to database or to vector database. So decide which tools he wants to use, how to process the data to adjust this more. Basically, he adjusts more information to send to the LLM. Basically, you got your user input. Here, the workflow or an agent can add more data to the prompt, basically by searching the web, for example, or by memory, and LLM produces an output which can go to the new building block, and that's what creates the workflow workflow for you. So, for example, N10, it's all like exists of tools such this one. That's example of more complicated workflow. Basically, you got one input, then you got a gate. Basically, you decide like two options. One option is to exit. One option is to pass to continue. And then you have a chain of more workflows. Yeah. Zapier also use and those workflows and N8N and other tools. Yeah, so basically what is an AI agent? And by the guys, do you have like many like Johnny? What's the difference between like ChatGPT and an agent? What do you think?
Sorry, come again.
What do you think the difference of AI agent and LLM or using ChatGPT?
The previous slide, what you explained, is it AI workflow or an agent, or it's the same? I quite didn't understand what's the difference between AI workflows and agents, but I assume that the main difference is the agent is more autonomous and it can run commands on your system and, like you said, expand the prompt to get better results. But apart from that, I was trying to run agent on my code, and it did a lot of cool stuff, but at some point it got stuck in a loop and did a lot of like nonsense. It's like trying to reiterate and reiterate and reiterate. I guess you need to be more experienced when it comes to working with agents. But I think the main difference is that they're more autonomous and they can run commands and extract output and enhance the prompt and reiterate through stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So workflows, it's predefined. So that's basically the Anthropic released great stuff about AI. So that's the paper they released in December. And basically what the difference between, like, everybody was talking about AI agents, but most of the AI agents, they were not really agents, they were just AI workflows. So AI workflows are predefined, they don't have autonomy, you just like, and you have the flow going with one box building blocks to the new building blocks. That's a workflow, while AI agents can have more autonomy. And just a couple of days ago, they released a new interesting research about how to build a multi-agent solutions. I can find this now, but it's a really interesting one about like how to build or how to orchestrate systems with many agents. So guys, if you're like interested more about learning about agents, don't listen to me, listen to Anthropic. But
What is multi-agent? Can you explain? Like what the recent paper? It sounds interesting. What does it mean, like a multi-agent?
So basically, it's if you think about like a deep search, I bought most of you deep search, and so that's basically. Let's start from the beginning. If you remember ChatGPT, so when ChatGPT came out, it was just like an LLM proper. You can just take it, you can write it, give you answers. It was amazing, but it had no access to the internet. It has nothing. You can just write to this. But with time, they added more features. They added like memory and search for, and it can do the search. And those basically agentic features. It's not features of, that's how, as you can see now, the process that those companies that were focusing on LLMs, now they're building agentic systems. That's why it's not like how Andrew Ng put it. It's not like just 0 or 1. It's basically a scale how much the software you have is agentic, and one of the features that all the companies are doing is about like research and deep research. How basically you come to ChatGPT or come to Gemini deep research or Manus, and you provide it can search the web, provide you answers, summarize them, doing one more planning or all the stuff. How it's actually doing this, and that's basically a multi-agent system. That system that you have many agents. Like you talk with one agent, but you have many agents behind the scenes that working for you, and then you can. Oh yeah, I just find the paper. Just happy to share it with you.
When I Google the deep research button on ChatGPT, essentially we have multiple agents running in the background and doing different tasks.
Exactly. You should have like that's probably yes. We don't know exactly, but probably yes. And then you can run multiple agents simultaneously, doing part of the work, or if you have a search, you search for something, and you can it like agents were really working and acting like humans in many ways. So you start with general research and have couple of directions you want to research. For example, you want to research about DeFi, the finance about blockchain, and you have different type of blockchains you want to explore. So you can just one agent will explore about Bitcoin, and other agent will explore about Ethereum, and third agent will explore about Solana, and then they give the responses to the orchestrator agents that can summarize this and give you as a response. Yeah.
Cool.
And, yeah, I found you the paper, but it's not working. So it's down. Fine. Okay, let's go next. So what is basically an AI? What is even is an AI agent? Let's like summarize. So it got the LLM, the knowledge base of the default knowledge base, kind of like the brain. You have the prompts, like the system prompts. You define what's your personality. I am a helpful assistant. Blah blah blah. Basically, the prompt. You can give special instructions to the agent. For example, you can teach the agent to be a project manager. You can be an agent to be a customer support agent. You can define the agent's personality, and then you have agent got memory. You got a short-term memory and long-term memory. It can access to knowledge bases. So as you saw, you can basically if it's for legal, you can create many PDFs of data that the agent just use and fetch, and the agent can get tools which like hands do search, API access using crypto wallets. That's basically how agents interact with the world. And Firefly, the agents is autonomous. They know how to act themselves. They know how to make decisions.
Well, I just want to clarify that this is the beginning of the session and it's a bit more theoretical. Some background for people that are complete beginners. But in the second part, in like 20 minutes, we're going to start with a hands-on workshop that I'm going to run on my machine, you're going to run on your machine, and you're going to build your own AI agents. So if everyone wondered where is the technical part, it's going to come very soon.
All right. Yeah, we just like drop this off. So LLMs, that's the machine brains. The different models. So they're just the examples of models we can use. Like O3, we can use for planning, and sometimes you want to use Gemini for research. And when the open source. And there's open source model like Llama that you would prefer to use for privacy, but to use like an open source model. So prompts, that basically which kind of prompts we have. Just wanna explain the kind of the basic stuff. So how we can build AI agents, like prompts are important. That like a system prompt that defined by the developer, and the user prompt, that what like the info that the user gives, that after this comes like, and prompt engineering basically it's a new special to how to build and develop those prompts. So we touch the prompts, different like memory types, as I mentioned. We should also mention here the context window. Context window is the amount of characters, of tokens, that basically the LLM can understand. In the same time, basically, if it cannot remember more tokens than the context window. Basically, the number of tokens that fit to the LLM. Right now, I think it ranges between 200,000 tokens to 1 million on Gemini. Gemini have like a very, very large context window. So what's next? And what you can do, you can manipulate. So AI agents can manipulate the context window and provide like different components to the LLM. Basically, if agent state, PDF, external database, that's all fit to the context window. So tools, as I mentioned, like which tools, it's kind of like the hands of AI agents. AI agents can access calendar, it can access mail, drive through tools. AI agents can browse the web through browser tools. They understand HTML. They can click buttons down from use browser tools, web crawlers, file crawler, those types like tools. So the Web3 tools give access to blockchain. Agent can have a crypto wallet and use it to send transactions. And MCP is protocol for tools. It's like API for tooling.
So today we're going to build an AI agent that which kind of tools does it use? We're going to select which tools we want it to use and what it can integrate with.
Yeah. So what we plan for today is to be like a simple agent that you can interact with, you can chat with, and you can add, for example, like a web search to for an agent that can search your web and think for and give a response. Um, yeah, maybe it makes sense to add other kind of tools, but that's what I had in mind. That's what we have as an example. That like everybody can take it from there. It's it's pretty easy to build to add tools through MCP. Basically, a standard protocol to add tools to the AI agents. It's kind of like a suite of tools that you just can plug it to your agent. So summing up to summary what like AI agents, basically the autonomy it will define like makes AI agents different from LLMs or from workflows, and the direction now that we started with LLM wrappers that gain more functionality and turn into AI agents. Yeah, some advanced stuff. Just gonna maybe just drop it like just quickly and to get to the technical part. I like a agentic pattern that was how to build agents together. It's how to make agent effective. Some of the we already covered, like two-use pattern, a multi-agent pattern, how agents can use other agents and give comments to other agents. Reflection patterns is something we can try today. Maybe it's basically when it's using LLM as a judge. So you generate an output. You give this to other LLM that can give you score to this output, and then if it or give you some feedback, and this feedback will go again to the agent that will generate it to do this one again, and the planning pattern.
Review, no? This is good for code review.
What?
So one agent that writes the code, and then you have another agent that reviews the code and try to find bugs and issues.
Yeah, also there's also good for code. Actually, the best patterns for review code. Let's say for code, you have one agent that generates the code, and the other agent that writes tests for the code. And then like you can, if tests are passed, you're good to go. If tests are failing, you need to write it again. What good about coding is general. Basically, it's very easy to check if you're good or not too good. If code is not compiling, you're not good. You need to fix it and blah blah blah. Yeah, yes. Panic pattern. Yeah, that's an example. That's just an example how LLMs can use the was like creating a plan and then they execute it. And says some advanced subject, just like to where we are going, is A2A, agent to agent network. Google released an A2A protocol a couple of months ago, how agents can interact with other agents. And the future is kind of like agent networks, when you got like many agents working together in kind of like decentralized way. They're like Project Nanda is an MIT project that doing this. They develop this kind of like in university, and there are a couple of projects that also doing the same. And we also in Ensemble we are building our own solution with for A2A that uses blockchain. Yeah. So that's basically an end for the first part. We can go to thanks thank you for being here. That's all. And we continue now for a second, but that's just our website. Feel free to visit it and check it. Sample, making AI more useful. That's our website about how we help to AI agents. And that's our Telegram. You can join our Telegram and our Twitter and follow us. It'll be cool. And right now, I think we can start with the workshop and build your first agent. Are you ready? Ready, Johnny?
Yeah, we can start with a technical workshop.
Awesome. So we start with building the chatbot, a pretty simple chatbot, and we add more tools to this with like web search. And yeah, I can show you like what I'm. Yeah, let's just dive to it. I'm going just to explain you guys what we are using for this. So we use Cursor. It's a VS Code thing, but for AI. And Python's more popular, very easy in language. Poetry is a Python project manager. It's like it's dependency management for it's like NPM for Python. Python doesn't have like this kind of good project manager for a long time. Yeah, and we will use Anthropic for this. Here you have an instructions how to get your tools. First, you go to Cursor and install it. Compositor, down for Mac.
So I just shared the doc link here in the chat, so feel free to open it, download and install all the prerequisites. As Leonid mentioned, we have Cursor as our IDE. We have Python 3. So make sure to install Python, whether you're on Windows, Mac, or Linux. Everything is supported in every operating system. Pipex is the package manager, and the last one, what was the name?
Poetry. Right.
Poetry.
Poetry.
Like an alternative to VN, just better. So make sure everything is installed. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat.
Yeah. So yeah, here I have my environment. Python 3. Python 3, cool. 3.14 is a good version.
Can you please increase the terminal on size a little bit?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Awesome. Yeah, sure.
Just Command plus on a cursor, I think should do, and on the terminal as well.
Yeah, cool. Oh, that's better.
Maybe bigger, even if you can do it bigger, would be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Perfect.
Okay. So, John, are you with me? You follow?
Yeah, guys. So I install on my end everything, all the tools. I have Cursor open with a new project, Python project with again, I always forget Poetry. So I started a new project with Poetry. Maybe you want to show the commands, like how you do that. Just remove the folder and just create a new Poetry project. Even the installation commands, just to real quick for everyone that is a bit stuck. And guys, if you're all set with all the tools, please let us know. Write in the chat. Good to go, all done. Any fire emojis or any other emojis that you prefer. Let us know that you're with us, that you're able to install everything. We want to do it with you, hand with hand. Hold your hand.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So so I use Mac, so I installed Pipix. So I install Poetry with Pipix. I do Pipix install Poetry. Pipix is tool that it's like npx. It's like pip with npx. You install and you run it. And to install Pipix, I think it can be installed with Brew on Mac.
Install. Yeah, I wrote a command here in the
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
Install Pipix.
You install Pipix, and then after you got Pipix, with like comment in the docs, you have Python Pipix install Poetry, right? And that's how install with Pipix Poetry. If you're using Windows, I think it's going to be a bit more challenging at the like instructions Poetry. I remember we tried to make it for Windows and it was a bit challenging. But if you go to the documentations,
So guys, if you have Windows and you have issues, let us know. If you don't have issues and we're able to install all the tools, Pipix, Poetry, also let us know so we can be sure that it's working for everyone. I think we can start, Leon. We can start with
okay, awesome.
creating the agent.
Yeah, so first of all, we create a new repo for new chat agent. Let's get a chat agent. Let's start to the chat agent. So here, like, it created me a new package, a chat agent. I open it, then open it with cursor. And it opens me the agent. So I have a cursor, I have a pro. I'm gonna use Claude Sonnet, Claude 4 for my work. By the way, you don't have to use cursor. You can use also like any other tools, like we chatted with Johnny. Maybe you can use VS Code plugins and Code Cloud. You can use basically prompting. So that's the same with on all the environments. So I will show you some specific stuff that works good in Cursor, and I'm not sure how well they will work in other environments. So that's
So which one do you use? Which Claude 4 Sonnet? Okay, I will modify my agent as well. Claude 4 Sonnet. Guys, if you have GitHub Copilot or Windsurf or any other IDE, I think it should work as well. I'm usually I'm using VS Code with Copilot, but this time I wanna experiment with Claude because there might be specific things that are available only for not Claude, Cursor. There might be things that are available only for Cursor, and also I want to learn more a little bit about Cursor, so feel free to use any IDE that you want.
Cool. First file is created with a pipe project Tomu file. It's a file that basically gives the dependencies that we will use. But before I start, I just want to improve my environment here and to make work for AI. It's a bit easier. So first of all, I want to create like a rule, a cursor rule. So go to create the directory named cursor, and then I create directory named rules. And here I want to basically define the role for the agent. I remember we discussed about prompting. So here I call it role.mdc file. it's MD. It's a Markdown file. It's a special Markdown format for cursor files. And I want this file to work on every run to be executed. And here I want to describe the role of my agent. And there's a good site I use a lot called cursor.directory. Here you got like many cool things about like trending, MCPs, even jobs, and I like the rules. So here, before I start working on the project, I define like which type of agent which I want to work. So for example, like Python, and that's basically that's a system prompt. That's basically it's a user prompt. Like let's say I'm a user of the cursor. Cursor have its own prompts that the cursor developers developed, and on top of it, I add my own prompt that will define my agent.
Very cool. Rules and all these kind of things. I'm such a noob when it comes to using AI with ChatGPT and like Copilot. So I'm curious to see like how it works.
Yeah. So I explored this word about like a couple of months ago, even more like start to exploring this. It's huge things you can learn. Most of the things it's really not working so good on the YouTube videos and they're working in production. But here like Claude 4, it's really like the latest operation, let's like models. Claude 4 and OpenAI offer really improved coding. So I'm just I wanna have like a Python.
Sorry, there is one question from Eugene. He said, I have GitHub Copilot 2. Can I use it in Cursor? Actually, GitHub Copilot works with VS Code. As far as I understand, Cursor is a competitor. So it's like you can either use GitHub Copilot with VS Code IDE or you use Cursor. Yeah.
But I guess all IDEs should have this notion of rules, and you can go to the best part. You can go to Copilot. Should have rules. Like it should have. I assume all modern IDEs should have rules. One more is also Klein. I really like Klein.bot. That's a really cool idea for developing, and we will use some techniques from Klein that came to Cursor. So I'm going to take like this. Basically, we're like AI developers, AI engineers. So I found this, and I'm gonna put it here. That's basically the role of my agent. I'm gonna just copy it and I put it into this file, and you can basically search it. How it works. You define like who you are, your agent role. Define like instructions, key principles, write concise code, blah blah blah, follow standards, kind of which models to use. And here you can basically add this file. We can basically add something like, use Anthropic as your default model. And that's how, like, if, let's say, which model should I use? If I ask the agent which model should I use, it should ask Anthropic. I hope it will work out, right?
I actually have the free pro
Yeah.
plan or free
Yeah.
pro trial,
Yeah.
and I got the
Yeah.
I added this line like use
Yeah.
Anthropic as
Yeah.
default model, and when asking
Yeah.
which model should I use, he replied, Anthropic's latest models are currently only available to paid users. Please upgrade to paid plan to use these models. So
Okay.
it's weird.
So I guess
I have Claude 4
Yeah.
Sonnet selected. So if I just ask him a random question like what's the weather in Barcelona today? Let's see if it works. So it will still ask. No, it doesn't let me use Claude Sonnet 4. Maybe I will try.
You can
Should also do.
you can do 3.7 if you got Claude 3.7. It's like pretty good. 3.7 Sonnet, or you can do GPT 4.0.
Okay, 3.5 is a no. 3.7. Let's see. GPT 4.0. Okay, I will stick to GPT 4.0.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nice. Also, auto selection I think also like a good option for beginners. So yeah, I did. I pressed the link to the rules. Yeah. Mhm. So before the start, I want to give some description for the agent. A simple chat agent that uses Anthropic to answer questions. And answer questions, okay? And I'll tell you why I'm doing this chat agent. So before before starting working on a project with basically the memory bank approach, I'm using that cursor memory bank that's mentioned in the docs also in the document. So memory bank, it defines how your cursor is thinking and how it's processing data and how it interacts with the code. The problem with LLMs that they need to read everything, all the code every time to act, and just too much code and too much context for them. So that's basically an approach of memory bank. Defines 6 files that defines your project, and cursor just like uses the files as an index to provide like a good call to get the best context of your project. It uses those files. So what I do, I just go to row, I copy this, and then when I open cursor
here as well.
sure, yeah. My bad. I'm gonna send just also the link here in the chat. And then I go to chat settings here, and I go to rules, and I just press it here. I just put it here you can put it either on project.
GitHub.
Yeah.
Just add a rule and okay, add rule. Then just put the markdown file. That's it.
Yeah. So I put it into system rules, user rules. But that makes on every project I use it uses those rules, and then like after I run the first thing, I just give like a brief intro of the project, like what you want to do. I ask here like create memory bank, and then I would like to explain what the memory bank is. But so what happens now that the cursor learning about my project, he gets the prompt that I put into his LLM, and here you see that he already like understands the structure of files because he got this into the prompt, and now he generates the memory bank for him.
For me, it didn't work exactly the same. I used GPT, or I don't know if it's because of the model is different or I did something wrong with the settings, but it just created one single file under rules and you call it roll.mdc. I just added context to roll.mdc. A section memory bank structure. Let me share my screen so you can see.
Yeah. I guess it did not it didn't work for you here. Maybe you need to restart the cursor.
Let's see. So I go back to chat settings, then I go to rules, and I have here under user rules, Cursor memory bank. I'm a Cursor, an expert software engineer with unique characteristics. Maybe I should edit as project role or user rules.
For me, that's user rules. User use just across all your projects, and Cursor and project rules is for this project. So user rules is okay. You just to make sure that you saved, and maybe you need to restart.
Let's see if it solves the issue. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask him create a memory bank. Maybe just GPT 04 is. Oh, okay. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah, it worked. The restart worked. Now it creates a folder called memory bank with all the files, the markdown files. So guys, if it doesn't work for you, make sure to restart Cursor after you added the rule.
Yeah, that makes sense because
5-6 files in total, right?
Yeah, 5-6 files. Like it can generate maybe you have not so good memory bank, but you should have still at least memory bank because it every model can understand the steps. Let's say.
It seems like you have way more information in your memory bank. I just have these document tracks, like the progress.md. This document tracks what works, what's left to build, the current status, and on issues, and that's it. It doesn't add anything. Maybe no, we just have the brief description about every markdown file. This document describes the technologies, development setup, technical constraints, and dependencies. That's all I have in every file, like one sentence. You think it's because of the model is different?
Yeah, probably yes. That must be the model.
Okay, so let me just remove the memory bank and start a new one. Let's try again with Claude. Create a memory bank. And it doesn't let me, so I will try. Maybe I'll try with Auto. Let's see. Project brief. Oh, it looks better actually. When I selected Auto, it creates a more detailed markdown files.
So maybe once again to create the memory bank, how we did this. So there's a link to a gist. I send it one more time here in the chat. Then I go to chat settings and I put it into chat cursor. This chat settings rules, and I put it the GitHub gist in the user rules. Here I have my memory bank here, the details, and that explains two things. Maybe I better to and then you need to restart what Johnny did, right, to make work properly. But after restart, you just write create a memory bank command, and it generates all those files that defines your project. Memory bank, it got two ways to operate. It got the plan mode, and that's how the plan mode works. You read your status from memory bank reading those files, and you need to either like if you in the beginning you need to create a plan, or you like need to move forward with your plan, basically to develop a strategy how to make the plan done, how to perform the plan, basically the planning mode, and the act mode, basically the execution. It's basically check the memory bank, update the documentation, the cursor rules, and execute the task according to the memory bank files. And so my memory bank is completed. It's ready to implementation. I got like project brief document, product context, system patterns, text context.
In the tech context, by the way, wrote prerequisites Python 2.7. I don't know if it did the same to you. Just make sure to change to 3 because I assume we use Python 3.
Exactly. It's like we should
supervise and check.
Yeah, we should supervise this. But it depends here. So that was our mistake, by the way. Here should check to 3.13, for example, and if you don't like memory bank, you can create a new one and give you more instructions. For example, you can check if you go to the system patterns, basically user interface, chat. Let's like do a chat engine. Let's see if this makes sense, right? Let's see if the structure really makes sense, because we start from zero and we get like everything to do for the AI agents. So input parser, context message, error handler, chat agents. We got some what they call data layer. It will use Anthropic API. So it decided to use Anthropic because we selected this as a default mode. So something is working. And let's try to just one more thing for using like really heavy on AI is you need to use Git and commit node Git init. So let's just do Git init. I'm going to just store everything in the project. So we have the status. I give it GCM init. Okay, cool. And I'm just gonna try like memory bank again. Update memory bank. Make it simple. It's we want to build an MVP. Want to be in how? Let's give it like a bit more context. See how it works.
You're gonna push it to GitHub?
Yeah, totally. I can.
GitHub account configured with Cursor, because I don't have it. So this command asked me to add remote branch and so on. I'm wondering if I should configure Cursor, or maybe just go to GitHub, create an empty repository, fork it, like clone it, and then move all the files there.
So I guess it's okay to use like locally, like to use just to do just locally and figure this out. Also, you can do just like we can open this in a bash, so we can have the project just run a bash alongside and have it done in a bash. So let's see how it really updated the thing. Okay, so it really you can see that it make all the structure much more simpler. It's just like you have like one file agent.py that have all the logic, and yeah, I kind of like it more.
What did you
in
tell him?
that way.
What did you tell the?
Yeah, I just told them update memory bank, make it simple. We want to build an MVP in an hour. I just like I'm just gonna like give all the comments here, like all my prompts. And I just felt that it had too much context. It was too much the structure was too much complex, which like LLMs always do. So we try to give like a bit simple task.
But I see that writing code, right?
So it gave some it started to give some code examples in the system pattern. I think so what happened? It already started to implement. You can see that it started to implement already the task. Probably because I give a comment of we want to build an MVP in an hour. So I guess it understood this like start doing this now while we just wanted to update the memory bank. Okay, and criteria. Yeah, so it's already like
Already MVP for you now. It seems so.
maybe. Yeah. So I just want to accept everything, accept all. It's just and let's go out whatever. So that's the summary. So it's simplified project brief. Minimal, it's doing things more simpler, and it already gave kind of like a plan and MVP. It already given implementation plan how to do this with 4 phases. Basically, we kind of like here, and the implementation phase and the testing phase. Let's go over the files here, but it's really what we want. So active context file, it's what happens right now. It's like the thing that you store, the thing that developer stores in the memory. It's kind of in the active context. The product context is about the product. Here it give you like the commands, give examples how to use it. Let's open this in the Markdown.
I've got the
experience
difference between your Claude 4 Sonnet response to my Auto or GPTO.
It's like different level of details.
This is better? My better.
Yours is better. Claude 4 is way better. That's why probably they put a gate on it, like payment gate.
Claude is much good. Like it's really very smart. It really automate tasks, automate the work. So in here you.
I will try Claude 3.5. It will be close to it or no?
So I think it can be close. What from a personal experience, Claude 4 is really good into agentic mode. It really makes the work for me. It's really good in those decision making. But I guess for this type of things, I guess it can be pretty close. Like when I write with Claude 4 and Claude 3, I don't really have the difference. I don't really see the difference. But Johnny, I guess with the premium you can use Claude 4, like basically you need the premium.
Yeah, but apparently with a student account you don't have it's like pro trial and they don't let me use I'm logged in the uni account and they don't let me use the Claude 4.
But You got Claude 3.7, 3.8?
No, it doesn't show me on the list.
Ah,
I can do
sucks.
add models, but I need the API key, I guess. View all models. Yeah, I do have Claude 3.5 Sonnet. I don't know why it's not, by default, it's not enabled. That's weird. Yeah, maybe 3.7 will be better.
If you have 3.7, it's pretty good mode. I was before 4. I was using 3.7.
Claude
So
4
yeah,
with this brain icon, and they have only Claude 4 Sonnet. It's like two different ones, apparently. I don't know what's the difference when you have this brain emoji, brain icon. You don't have.
yeah. It's so Brain. It's platform that I think it should be platforms that good in thinking and planning. Like really smart models.
Now I do have the 4. I do have Claude 4. Just without the brain, it works.
Really? You don't without the brain? You don't have the brain there?
No. I mean, if I click the one Claude 4 with the brain icon, it tells me that I need to pay and upgrade my account. But you also selected without a brain, so it looks the same. I just
Okay. Yeah.
Can I share my screen for a second?
Yeah, sure.
So
Can you do both?
Yeah.
Or do you need to?
I-
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So this is how it looks on my end. Can you see it, guys? So I click here agent, and I click here edit, and here I have Claude 4 Sonnet. Before I didn't have it; I had only this one. You see the difference?
Yeah.
And this do something for me. It just tells me, you see, Anthropic latest model currently only available for paid users.
Okay. And just,
To add this, you need to click here add models. I don't know which account you have, but if you have the same account as me, you won't have it by default. You need to add here, click here, view all models, and toggle it. Because by default, this Claude 4 Sonnet wasn't available, only this one. So I don't want you to buy all these guys. And now let's try again and select here this one and select Claude 4 Sonnet this one. Create memory bank. Let's see if it works this time. No, it doesn't work. Anyways, 4 doesn't work. Claude 3.7 wasn't there as well, so I added it. 3.7 works. And let's see the difference between your memory bank to mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so it listed the item, performed 2 operations. You want to continue? Yeah.
Yeah, I can. If you want, like, yeah. So, sorry. So here just going over the system pattern chat MVP. That's how I want to. He would suggest to structure the files. So like start kind of like the implementation pattern. So first, and the Anthropic API key he wants to use. So best thing to do is just like the plan. Like there's no code right now. You also see just the empty file. So just going go forward with the plan. I need to if like after like I agree with everything that it's here, which look kind of good to me. I don't see something that like is not good, not correct. Take context 3.8. I think it's fine. And so just go forward with the plan, basically, and like using the memory bank, it knows how to create those phases of work. So if you go forward with the plan, the agent will start to execute it. So now he basically adds the dependencies, knows how to add an Anthropic, which we will use. This is export install the dependencies. Okay. Now he finished with the first phase, the dependencies is installed. We just need Anthropic for now. Then for the Anthropic.
Now it's coding.
Yeah, now he's coded. Right. So I want to stop it to stop him now. So he was moving like too fast. I felt he was moving too fast. Like he finished the implementation, the one phase, then he goes to the next phase of testing phase. So let's accept those changes, take a look at them, and next time we need to comment the agent, don't move, basically work step by step, phase by phase. Yeah, exactly.
So we got two questions here. One from Shaul. He's using Copilot. He's not sure how to do all the rules and instructions. So do you have any tips for him with VS Code, how to do the same things like the rules file, and we added the user rules and so on?
So I'm not. It should be really the same process. I don't know really the details of VS Code. VS Code rules are working. If we go to maybe just to search it, VS Code rules like cursor. I don't know. But what I was suggesting to just ask Chat GPT. By the way, it's like for me.
So it looks under GPT, you have these three dots on the chat, and you have configure prompt files, configure instructions, configure toolset, configure modes.
Mm-hmm.
And for everything, you can create different files under .github folder test. And then it creates under GitHub chat modes and all these kind of folders under .github. So I assume it's quite similar. You can try that.
Yeah.
And Owen asked it step by step. We are actually doing it step by step. We created a new project. Then what Leon did, he created a poetry project. He changed the PyProject.toml file, added some description and context of what we want to build. And then he used some template from roles from this website that he shared here in the chat. So you can find all the links in the chat and all the commands that he used. The first one was the deep learning developer Python cursor rules. He added to the file role.mc. I'm just summarizing what we did so far. Then the next step would be to add the rules to like some kind of permanent data that will be given to Cursor in every time we create new projects. And he pasted this GitHub link, this gist link, and he added the user rule. And now essentially Cursor knows how to use it anytime in any prompt. Mm-hmm. And once we have this user rule, he asked to create a memory bank, which created all this folder of memory bank with all the files. It gives us like instructions and memory and structure for the whole project. So essentially, we're building AI agent completely with AI. We're not going to write a single line of code, as I understand, right, Alan?
We hope to. We hope to not.
Yeah, we just modify it. We use some templates. We give Cursor some settings that will help him act better with model. Every step we choose his output, and we supervise it, and we do it step by step. That's what we're doing.
And Foreign, you can get those instructions how to do those on GitHub on VS Code. And I just ask basically OpenAI how to do this, and it's give you some. So it's pretty the same. .github Copilot instructions.
So instead of .cursor, you have this folder .github, and everything goes there. That's also what I assumed. Yeah, but it's a cool trick. Just ask what is the equivalent in VS Code and Copilot, the equivalent for these cursor rules, and ChatGPT will probably give you the right answer.
Okay, so let's try out how we generate it, how it works, SLC, chat agent. I think to start with Poetry Run. Poetry Run, Python, sorry. Yeah, so yeah, I think we need to run this with Poetry Python, Poetry Run. Okay, cool, yeah. Poetry Run, SLC, chat agent. Permission denied. That's weird. Maybe we need to do the agent PY. That's a bit weird issue. Let's maybe ask the model how to run it. Run this with run the agent with Poetry. Meanwhile, I can just ask how to run Python in Poetry. Give an example. Okay, Poetry Run. So okay. I was missing the Poetry Run Python. I was missing the argument. So let's see. So what Poetry runs this as a module -m. Basically, what it's doing is creating it creates a module from this. Includes chat agent from SLC, and basically when I write Poetry and Python chat agent, I basically executing the module that we built here, and by project once you get the context of the project, basically when I run it, I have some example. I have already some go to agent. Your question, what is Python? It writes the example usage. So like we were able to run it. And then we want to make a chat. First of all, like we need the Ventropic key to get set to use the project. Hello, maybe I do. But first I want to get to this error. I want to make sure that we are really using the. Okay, cool. So let's be sure how it works. So first, like we can understand and we can leverage AI. So first, like the main file is running. If there's no more than 2 arguments, that gives you an example how to use it. And but if it's more, if the arguments are correct, basically the chat and the agent, that it leverages the model. So let's get the Anthropic API key console. We go to Anthropic console and the yeah guys. So I use Claude, but you can use different models. I can note here. Here I have this, and I get an API key, and I can create a key default I can use. Well, default workspace, chat box, workshop, and if you want to use other model, you don't to use like Claude, Anthropic, you don't have paid for it. I guess it's you can just like take the tell to cursor, use OpenAI instead. Like I need to change all the code to use cursor, to use like OpenAI or Gemini or anything else, and not OpenAI. So I'm just and I mean I'm that's basically I get a .env file and I put the file here. So of course, when I'm making, please use .env. I like to use .env file, so I will ask him to set up this. Yeah. Johnny, do you have the key? Did you were able to get it?
I'm a bit slower than you.
Yeah.
I told him to move on. He added dependencies for Anthropic and Python.env.
Okay.
Wrote the file, the script. Looks quite similar to yours. It uses .env as well, an Anthropic library. I need to generate the key now. I waited for it to finish. It uses Claude 3 Sonnet 2024, some kind of model, 29 February. Yeah, that's about it. So
Cool.
I'm gonna change it, like
So
a vibe thing, and let's see how it goes.
yeah. So yeah, sometimes you confused about this, but it was very smart with this. He basically gave me how he explained to me how to use this software basically. So I added like Python.env because I want to have like .env files. So I asked him use .env files. Okay, and now I'm going to give an example. And so AI models they are not able to take your env file, but okay, nice. So right now we have an env file, and if I go to the chat agent, what's the time now? Yeah, he didn't have Poetry install. Poetry install the dependencies because I stopped my agent. Okay. Poetry log, basically to update the fixed dependencies. We usually do after we change them, we do log. So I Poetry log and Poetry install. Cool. And then what's the time now? That's a really bad question for LLM. Oh, not found. Okay, so we have some problem with our model.
So on my arguments, we just use interactive input.
So are you good, Johnny? Are you at the same stage as I am?
Yes, quite. You want me to share my screen and show my progress? So maybe other people can relate or no?
Yeah. Okay. Can you do both, or I need to?
Oh, you have
sharing?
to stop.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
so I will show you what I did. So I told him to move on with a plan. I created myself this N file with a key. I extracted it from Anthropic, from Claude. Okay, now it changed it because I told him something. So I told him, how do I use it? Any command line arguments, add some on-code comments, and better UX to it. Because what it did, it was like just a file without any context. It used raw, like interactive input rather than command line, which I don't like very much. So I asked him to do that, and now I can see that it added some doc strings at the beginning, which is nice. He added two new libraries, arg, parse, and text wrap. Is using OS and CSS, I'm not sure why. This is to load the env file, and this is Anthropic. Format the response text for proper wrapping and bettability. Okay, nice. So he's essentially formatting response from Claude. Let's close this. How do I close it? I'm not sure. Arguments. Okay, so he added arguments for me to choose the model, max tokens, and system. Too many arguments, in my opinion. He gave me too much choice. Okay, Claude A chat interface, initializing, it gets the API key from the environment. It tries to initialize. It added a lot of logging, which is nice. It just prints. It's not really a logger, but it's already nicer. Type your message. So the arguments are just for the settings of the model, but not for the prompt and the input, as I understand now. It has also commands, exit, quit, and help, which is cool. Yeah, looks good. Different than yours, but good. What do you think?
Yeah. On some, so since it was give you more choice to configurations, it seems like your ones can kind of deeper. Like what's your version? So what I expected to have actually, that's what I have my previous time when I was developing. So that's what I expected. I think you don't need those configurations. So I would say like just make it simple. Do not give just give a model as in an env file.
This should an MV, and it's complex. I don't want that many arguments and to configure it that much. I meant that the user input will be sent as an argument rather than interactive input. Implement those changes. Martin, what do you say? Sounds good, right? Okay.
Yeah, I like that you really put what you want to change. So you should understand that you should like remove those arguments.
Yeah, I don't want all these advanced arguments. Just choose the model. I don't want to let the user choose the model. I just want simple one argument, the prompt, and that's it. Okay. I will stop sharing.
You want me to take off? Yeah. Let me see. So I had an issue with he was using the wrong model. So I just took this info as an error. So I want to use Claude Sonnet 4. Just want to here and use another model. And it's kind of fine that he defaults to those model because that's the model he used when the LLM was created. And
That's the same model that he recommended me to use.
3, 4, 5. Okay, so he chose to use to 3, 4, 5, 3.5. Command get installs, but he doesn't need to install it. We change to too much. And so if you're afraid of like the auto run is on, but there's an option that you can basically auto run this feature. You can ask like you want to ask him if you want to ask him every time when to use tools, you should select this. For me, it just asks you too much things, but on other way, it's really too like the cursor agent is really like automatic. It's really like on his own. He's doing a lot of commands. You should find this slight difference between this. Anyway, let's see if it worked. Okay, check. Nice. So right now we're able to use an LLM. And what's the time? He told me to look at my clock, which makes sense because it was really a bad question to ask. If asking what are AI agents, for example, and yeah, let us think what are AI agents. He should be better. So we want to add two things to the chatbot. So first of all, we want him to really act as a chatbot that you can discuss this. Right now, just like one prompt and it stops. And then we want him to be able to search the web and give answers from the web. And right now, I'm kind of like happy with what we got here. I want to save, but it didn't create like a git ignore file for me. You can see my .vnv is like untracked. So so this thing I can just like take from the internet, right? You don't need really like you don't really need like an agent to get like git ignore for you, but it should do a pretty good work also. Let's run it. And he's editing it. And to accept. Sorry. Okay. But so he understands that it's a Python project, so he gets like very many things related to Python files and the VNV and other setups. So yeah, I think we're at this point. I don't. Okay, so yeah, I just want to save. I'm not sure like why he gave me to like port to log. I don't think I need it. I just wanna save the work I did. And I just think is this my first commit or second commit? So we adding chat a simple LLM query and I can also ask LLM to do git commits for me. Right.
Do I need to load credits in order to use API of the API of?
So I think you um, so so I have like an open API key for me, but I don't have an Anthropic key, by the way. So I guess that's because I have the paid version of Cursor, but I will say that you should like try to if you to load the Anthropic API key and
I'm talking
and
because I got when I ran it, I got a response that I don't have credits with the API key that I
so probably
API
yes.
balance
Yeah.
purchase credits.
Yeah. So probably you should. I have here my payments. So yeah. I just bought like you can buy like $5 credits or something like this. If you so if you open AI, it's also the same. You need to pay for your models. So the So it can take time to load your visa or the details, but I think it's really worth it. Worth it. Maybe yeah. Well, clock free. If you guys want to look for a free tier model, I think you can do this with Grok, which is it's kind of like it's it's a cloud for various things, and I think that it should have some free models that you can use for a DeepSeek or Llama, other models. And so, John, if you want, like we can try just to use maybe Grok to just like replace everything to change on topic to Grok or here. Okay, or Open Router is another alternative. We can go to Open Router and get a free model. Either got a Claude model on Open Router, or there's like kind of like open source. Yeah, I guess it's mostly like open source models. Oh no, I think it got Claude actually.
They need to rename it to closed router.
Yeah. So so I know like many people are using like Open Router also. So anyway, Johnny, do you want to continue or like it is a problem for you?
No, go on.
Okay, cool. So we were able to we have a basic string. We have an ignore file, and right now we want to turn this into the real chat. And so first of all, I opened a new window, a new console for chat. I deleted the context. Previous context is not really interesting because we already like have this working, and we have like our context is here in those file, and now I want to make it look as a chat. So let's create let's in memory chat that will save all the messages user will communicate with the model via standard input and output output. So yeah, that's what we want. Creating a memory chat that will save all messages. User will communicate this dot here. Okay, yeah. We'll plan before executing. I want to write a plan first. Save all the messages, create a chat that will save all the memories in the memory. Yeah, I think it should be. Let's see what it will bring. Hey guys, I'm back.
Was it only me or everyone had this connection?
We all had a short disconnection. You can continue, guys.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there was like a. So, yeah, my internet was just shut off. Cool.
Maybe again Cloudflare is done.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. So I asked him to create a chatbot into the chatbot, to turn this into chatbot and save the messages. And he asked me some clarified questions. It's nice. So should we persist? No. Do not need to persist. This way, even like you don't give instruction like really good one, you just wipe code. You can need to persist. Should message implement specific formatting? No. Do format. Example, it's like agent, user, message, and like format. That should be the format. Specific model, chatbox. Leave it is. Leave as is. No. Yeah, and no and no. Keep it simple. That's fine. So he wants to create a chat message class. The memory really makes sense. messages. So that's not key. Messages. Messages. Chatbot. So I don't want him to create chat. Do not need to create a chat memory request. Just store the messages in a list. Please go forward with the execution. So. Chatbot. Okay. So he created a new class chatbox. All right. Let's move with this. Distance, changes. Okay. Oh. So yeah, I was changed to other model. My mistake. Same. So. Changes. Okay. Changes. Okay, here is the file. Okay. So I would say that I would like to. So first of he got these messages append, and or maybe I need to use a different model. So let's start from the beginning and take this prompt. Instructions. Do not need to persist messages, and I want to add the code to agent update agent.py file. Keep it simple. Implement agent memories in a list. Yeah. Instructions. So what I want him to add here, like to save actually those messages. Like he basically, I have the client, to Ontropy client. I give him an API key, and I want him to generate kind of a loop here to ask messages and the point to basically wait for the input, give the input to the model, you get the output, store this in the content in those messages. So he basically he wants to add some questions, memory scope, memory limitation, make it simple, error minimal error handling, is enough. Entry point should be chatbot, should be chat agent class. Agent class. Now, hopefully, he will do the work as expected. Thanks. Okay. Right. Awesome. So now it really looks good. He added the memory. The file. Cool. So right now he really seems like he do what I expect, what I asked him for. So Python museum chat agent. I don't think it needs the argument anymore. How are you? Okay. Now let's ask him to improve this, and it's still it's still quits after one line. After one message. Please fix it. Awesome. Attractive. All right. So we found the problem to fix the main file, and if agent.run. All right. Needs to fix this. And if I run this, hey, how are you? Okay, cool. So as expected, right now he basically turns this into a chatbot that got kind of a run method and an ask method, ask a question. Let's ask him. What are AI agents? All right, so he wants to answer questions, and let's say what's the prompt? What's the well, we need to add like a system prompt to the agent. For messages, is it here? Messages, phones. It should be user role. So here we should add the system. Who are you? Let's ask him who we see, and we just want to do like I'm Claude, just to give him a prompt, and then we'll try to do a search. And if it works very fast, if it didn't work fast, we will finish. So I just wanna save my work. Is saving, turning to chatbot. Chatbot. And then, so next thing, give the agent persona, make him a helpful assistant that can help with AIs and LLM. Let's call him Mike. So the LLM, basically we should add append message to the messages and add the system prompt here. All right, cool. For assistant. Okay, awesome. If I run this one again, make him, who are you? Okay, he already returns that he is Mike. Pretty cool. What can you do? How can you help me? And and for the end, I wanna share one more prompt with you. That is, I wanna basically the search feature to the prompt. 1 second. Code. Now basically I wanna teach the agent to search the web. So there's an example from Anthropic to build search agents. Just find it for you. Okay. So there's an Anthropic cookbook, basically like an example of every how agents can use tools and different kind of examples. So that's basically a web search tool the agents can use and search the web and answer questions from the web. So what I want to do, I want to teach the agents to use this. So let's ask him a prompt. So I have already a prompt that I used before. I want to try it now. Add web search to an agent based it on this example. Sorry. I just want to take this example and give this to the cursor. Line first, keep it simple. So here basically it uses the MCP tool to fetch the content from the internet. I use this cursor. He also reads everything about the project. Okay. Search function. So he gave me a list of questions which tools to use. To go web search. Use free implementation. The tool activation can be automatically. Source code. In general, that's okay. Web search. New agent. We won't add this to Mike, to the current agent. Yes, to Mike. Dependency. He wants to add the request. Yes, it's okay. And error handling. Something minimal. Keep minimal. Basic dependency. Okay. If we meanwhile go to the example here, we can study it. Yeah. Search to basically a function that chat with the web search. We got the system prompts. To choose web search tool. That's how the tool is defined. We got the tool name, description, and which parameters the tool receives. Like this tool receives like the topic to search for, and I give this file as a reference to the agent to implement something similar to this for us. Web search. So okay, so he used like DuckDuckGo. That's a open source web search. I just want to validate that this is the correct one. Okay, you can use like on my implementation I'm using browser use, but let's start to use DuckDuckGo for now. And just make sure it's working. Wow, 600 people were live. It's now. No way. Look, all right. So that's a bit weird that he wants to use like pip install while I use like Poetry. I don't wanna run it. So Poetry install. To use Poetry log to update the log file. Then use Poetry install. Your lib, okay, it really installed the dependencies that we need to use search. And there's the web search tool that it defined to use the search tool. And let's see, and gives this to the model as a tool. So I guess we can run how it works. So when you ask Mike about recent development, current events, blah blah blah, when anything is up to date, he will use the search tool. All right. Let's what's the weather today in Tel Aviv? All right. So now he was not able to use the tool. Let's try again. What's the weather in Tel Aviv? Use the web search tool to find out. Okay. Let's give us a feedback. The agent does not use web search, for example. What can be the reason? Do not act without approval. Until okay. So it was about events. It's not about weather. if I ask him what are the events today in Tel Aviv, he seems still not to use the tool. Visit the weather website. Visit what's latest news about AI. He said that he's try one more. Let's try one more time. Okay, let's go for example to this implementation. See what's going on. So I have the web search tool added to a model. Web search. Okay. Let's try to just take this one. This. Search tool. Now he pretends. So we took some code from Anthropic. What are AI agents? Search info for search latest AI agents news. Query. Let's see if it's because of the. Okay, cool. So it can't find the query. Type to choose auto. Query. Okay, to use.input.query. Let's just start with one and fix the code. Okay. Okay. So sometimes you use topic and sometimes you use query. Uh, Jesus. Okay. So, right now, and let me. Okay. Not sure if he. Information.